I think I wore the most basic outfit ever for a video to talk about style, but I mean, here we are. I am so excited today to talk about something a little bit more easygoing. Let's have fun today. We're going to talk about my style or recommendations for each of the zodiac signs. Keep in mind that this is just one astrologer's opinion. Doesn't mean this is the truth. Doesn't mean you should go ahead and throw out your wardrobe and buy a new one based on what I say here. But hopefully it inspires you to experiment and try some things out. And also play with not just following your sun sign. So, if you're like a Leo or a Scorpio, listen to that one for sure, but also I would recommend listening to your ascendant sign as well, because the ascendant sign is the one that represents our style, is the one that represents the mask that we show to the rest of the world, how we show up to the rest of the world. So you might find that your ascendant sign and the style I recommend for that is also quite applicable. We are going to go through a couple of different things for each of the zodiac signs. First of all, I'm going to give my color recommendation for each of the zodiac signs. Secondly, a general style recommendation or tip or piece of advice. And then finally, third piece, I am going to share some inspiration, some photographs of different outfits that could fit the specific zodiac sign. One quick announcement before we dive into Aries, and that is that I am doing a free reading giveaway. When we reach 2,000 subscribers, I will pick one subscriber to give a free reading to. And all you have to do to enter the giveaway is click subscribe. Good luck. Okay, Aries. I feel like your recommended color is pretty much like a given across the board. I think all astrologers recommend that you wear red, and I'm going to stick to that. I think red is a perfect color for our fiery Aries. If you don't want to make your entire outfit red, see if you can just play with pops of color, like some red lipstick or a red watch, or even just like red shoes, red socks. The little things might already help you get in touch with your fiery nature. As a general style tip, Aries, I would say wear anything that feels comfortable, anything that allows you to just move. That might mean that you're dressed a little bit more sporty. That might mean that you're dressed in something a little bit more, basic, like a t-shirt and some jeans. But honestly, I think that should help you in day-to-day life to help feel your energetic self. So my first outfit example for you, Aries, right here. I love this one because it's quite a simple sweater and jeans, and we see that pop of red coming through. This second one, even though there's no red in there, it is super comfortable, super sporty, loose fitting. It feels like she can just jump into a jog whenever she needs to. And I think that's perfect for Aries. And then finally, something like this I think could be perfect for Aries as well. It's quite, lightweight, easy to move in. Of course, there's no red in there, but it's sort of like basic staples. We have some stripes and a dress. So this is something that could also fit an Aries. For Taurus, the color that I recommend is the color green. This is because Taurus, you are inspired by nature, and these sort of concepts of nature helps you to come back to this peaceful side of you, the side that is really important that you get in touch with in this lifetime. And therefore, wearing green, a color that we see a lot in nature, could help you do that. Experiment with different shades of green. I mean, honestly, based on the rest of your birth chart, you might be more drawn to, neon greens or maybe more subdued greens. Again, feel free to experiment and Doesn't mean that your whole outfit needs to be green. Perhaps just little green details here and there are enough. As a general tip for you, Taurus, I would say focus on fabrics that feel good on your skin. If there is something like a scratchy wool sweater or some sort of polyester fabric that just feels weird on your skin, try to avoid that. What usually really helps and what's really important for a Taurus to feel luxurious is to also feel like the clothes on you are luxurious. So natural fabrics like cotton or silk should feel a lot better for you, Taurus. I love this example of this outfit right here because we see these like really earthy colors, the sort of like terracotta of the pants and the green of the sweater, of course. And this also looks like it's perhaps linen, so really like a natural fabric that feels really good on the skin. I think something like this dress could also be a really good fit for a Taurus. Again, we see that green coming about. It looks like it's a super comfortable, natural fabric. And something that is also quite easy to move in, not something that's very restrictive. And finally, I think this dress is also a really good example. We see silk coming up now, which should also feel really nice on your body. It's a natural fabric. And in general, this dress just looks to be quite comfortable, something that doesn't restrict you too much in your movements, Taurus. Okay, Geminis, let's start with your color, which from my perspective is yellow. I think yellow for you, Gemini, helps remind you not to take yourself too seriously, helps remind you to be outgoing, to be curious, to strike up conversations with people, and reminds you to be okay to stand out from the crowd and to be your shiny and happy self. My style recommendations for you, Gemini, I mean, if you can change up your outfit 2 or 3 times a day, go for it. I think that is something that's perfect for all of our Geminis. And honestly, Gemini, don't be afraid to just not take your style too seriously. Don't overthink it. You know, if it's like a really fun sweater that maybe even feels like a 5-year-old would wear, who cares? You know, if you love it, if it makes you feel good, just put it on. You're really not the Zodiac sign that should dress like a Capricorn. You will get there, like super serious, super classy. Honestly, if you can wear socks with pizzas on them and that makes you feel good, definitely go for it, Gemini. This outfit is a perfect example for a Gemini. We see that pop of yellow in the pants, and we see this sort of like fun sweater that also feels a little bit more like young, easygoing. Again, an outfit that's not too serious, but still quite fun. Here as well, we see lots of different mixes of color, something that's not, this is not a person that's taking themselves, too seriously. We see these pops of yellow as well. So I think this is a wonderful outfit for Gemini as well. And the final example I have is this one. I love that we've got these sort of like funky sandals going. We have a t-shirt with like some text, some graphics on it. We've got this fun loose skirt. It's honestly such a fun outfit. Again, it has that little bit of a younger feeling to it as well. Colors, honestly, a perfect example of something that you could wear, Gemini. Cancer. Your color recommendations from my perspective is a light blue. The reason I've picked this color for you is blue is a color that represents our emotions, and you are a water sign, Cancer. But I wanted to touch on the light blue because it has this feeling of sort of like a past, referring to a time long ago. It's not the sort of deep blue that maybe refers to more of like a sign like Scorpio, where we see that deep water type of energy. So light blue is a color that I recommend. And in general, Cancer, for your style, if you live in a warm country, definitely go crazy with your sweater game. Sweaters are comfy, are thick, are comfortable, and that should help you feel safe and loved and warm. And in general, anything that is sort of like a pass me down, anything that has sentimental value, maybe you have a dress that your mother used to wear that you can sort of like retailer and adjust to fit you, or, like a jacket that your dad used to wear all the time that you've sort of taken on from them. That should be a perfect fit for you, Cancer. And if you cannot get that, if like your parents' clothes really don't fit you or they're just a completely wrong size, see if you can pick up some second-hand clothing. These also have their own history, their own feeling of connection, and just history of who the things they've seen, the bodies that they have graced. So that could also be a nice way to get in touch with that side of like connection and sentimental value. This is one outfit, Cancer, as an example of what could fit your style. We see the blue in the skirt, and also in general, this just feels like it's more of like this sort of like romantic, easygoing type of outfit, which again would fit perfectly for you. This close-up, I chose Cancer because I think it gives a really good example of a sweater that maybe is not like the most fashion forward today, but it has that history. It has that maybe attachment to someone in your family. It has a story behind it. So definitely see if you can bring those elements into your style. And again, one more example of this type of, sweater. It's comfy, it's thick, it's warm, and it maybe has some emotional attachment to it because it's maybe something that you got from a secondhand store, maybe you got it from a friend. And whenever you wear this sweater, it feels like you are also honoring the connection to your friend. For Leo, my color recommendation for you is gold. Honestly, anything that shines, anything that is big and loud, and I think obviously a lot of color would make sense for you, Leo. Just like wearing color in general would make sense for you. But what I would actually recommend, anything that's big, like if you can take a lot of space horizontally or like in your width with your outfits, with your style, wearing like a really wide skirt or like something with really big like bell sleeves, or even pants that have like these big bell bottoms. Take up space with your outfits. Maybe like wear a huge hat. I think those types of things, Leo, that make you stand out from the crowd should feel wonderful. Here we have one example of a perfect outfit for Leo. We have lots of colors, lots of patterns. We have those shiny boots. And of course, she is taking up a lot of space with this outfit because of that fur coat. It's full on from top to bottom. It's big. It takes up a lot of space. So see if you can emulate these types of qualities in your outfits. This is also a really fun style for Leo. We see that red popping through, which I know I recommended for Aries, but however, this is still fun. We see her outfit taking that space with her sleeves. We see some of that shininess reflected in her shoes, and of course, she's also got a hat on. And finally, this is another example of an outfit that takes up a lot of space because of that wide skirt. We've got fun colors, not afraid to stand out, and that's something that you should also be repeating and trying to do with your outfits, Leo. Right, Virgo. For you, I recommend the color indigo. It's a classic color. It's a color that can be found in nature, so it's quite natural and helps you get in touch with sort of like the earthy side of what being a Virgo, of being a Virgo. And I think indigo is a color that is quite respected. I think a lot of companies, a lot of brands, if they want to be seen as somebody that's classy, as somebody that's respected, they usually tend to go for this deep blue type of color. And for my general style recommendation for you, Virgo, focus on something classy, but something that's still functional. Something that will still allow you to move and to actually, do the task that you're doing that day. That could mean that you're wearing something classy, but still stretchy, so that you can move comfortably. And I would say, Virgo, because you're so focused on the details, you might have to spend a little bit more money on your outfits. Pay attention to the little things like the stitches, how do the buttons look like, those little details that, big box brand like Zara or H&M might look over. But to you, if those little details are not right in your style or in your outfit, it might make you feel really off and just in general not very confident. So this is one example, Virgo, where we see a sort of a bit of that classiness coming through. We have the tucked shirt, we have the collar. It looks like the fabric of the shirt is also a little bit more sort of, fancy or traditional. But it still looks quite comfy. This outfit, she has pants. It looks like she's able to sit and move quite comfortably in them. She's also wearing sneakers, which allow her to, quickly move on with her tasks during the day. This is also another wonderful example for an outfit for you, Virgo. We've got the blazer, which sort of brings that classy, traditional vibe. But again, it's quite a practical outfit. We see some jeans and a t-shirt. And, she's got her sleeked back hair. She looks quite professional while also being quite functional. And then finally, I think this is a perfect example of another outfit for you. We see some of that like deep indigo come about in her skirt. But in general, this is an outfit that feels like really clean, really straightforward. It really feels like a Virgo outfit because it's also quite simple. But if you can choose, to have these two pieces as, with good materials, their stitching is just right, they just, they sit just right, then this is already an outfit that could help you feel confident, but still, again, feel like you're able to move, you're able to accomplish everything that you've set out for your day. For Libra, the color that I recommend is pink. As I say that, keep in mind that there are many versions of pink and many different varieties of pink. Depending on what else is going on with your birth chart, you can choose different pinks. If you're somebody that has more Leo influences or more fiery sign influences in your birth chart, you can definitely go for the hot pinks. But if you're somebody that's maybe a little bit more subdued and you have more of like the earth signs prominent in your birth chart, definitely go for more of these like pastel or subdued types of pinks that you would also find in nature. But in general, Libra, my style recommendation to you would be see if you can wear a monochrome outfit, an outfit that really fits from top to bottom, whether that's all because it's the same material or it's all the same color. That's something that you can play with. And in general, what might also help you feel like you're bringing a sense of matching and a sense of harmony within your outfit could be something as simple as just matching your bag to your shoes, to your belt, so that way it feels like everything fits together. Even if you do different colors in your outfit, it might just feel like your outfit makes sense when at least you have those colors matching throughout, that the black, there's a little bit of black in your shirt that also matches your shoes, or if you're wearing a green belt, that matches with your green shirt. So there is a sense of cohesiveness throughout the whole outfit. Here's an example of one outfit. She's literally wearing pink and it's monochrome, so this might be too much for some of you Libras, but it's a good example of feeling like a sense of harmony or a sense of cohesiveness throughout your outfit. This is another example where, there are different colors going on here, but there's that sense of matching, right? We see the green reflected through multiple pieces, the black reflected through multiple pieces, and it just feels like the whole thing flows together as one cohesive whole. And again, the final example, again, there are different colors here, but they feel like they're sort of like in the same family, this brown and this pink. And, she ties the whole outfit together by having her bag, her belt, and her shoes match with each other. I'm sorry to do this to you, Scorpio, but my color recommendation for you is black, unfortunately. Keep in mind that black can be a really nice color to have in your outfit, like a staple color. This doesn't mean your whole outfit needs to be black, but sometimes having those elements in there will help you feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more at ease with how you're representing yourself. You can also to a certain extent, you can do different shades of black. It's a little bit more difficult. Then it starts to become gray, of course. But see if you can also play with like the different textures or different types of fabrics. And then, black silk versus black linen can look different and can bring a little bit of variety or spice to your outfit. But in general, besides the color black, my style recommendation for you, Scorpio, is to wear layers. I think, especially if you're somebody that lives in a colder country, I think layers bring this sort of like mystery that you love to have. And this sort of idea of, you see a little green peeking underneath your sweater. And it leads people to wonder, like, what is that? Is that a shirt? Is that a scarf? What does it look like? Or if you can, for example, do like a dress with a sweater on top, that sort of people wonder, is she wearing a skirt? Is she wearing a dress? These types of elements might make you feel much more confident. So here's an example of an outfit. We see a lot of black, and we also see that layer of that, shirt underneath the sweater that's sort of peeking out through the bottom. So it gives this sort of sense of mystery or a sense of there being things underneath the surface that people cannot necessarily see fully. This example I pulled up because I loved the layers in it. Even though, the colors might not be exactly the gem for Scorpio, it's still an example of a more casual outfit, but with layers so that you can see there's a lot going on. There's almost like things for people to discover in your outfit. And finally, a final example here, it's more of a summery outfit. You could see how layering could work when, you're living in a warmer country or when it's the summer. And again, we see those black elements throughout, but there is something else, there are those white elements as well. So don't be afraid, Scorpio, to bring other colors besides black. The color for Sagittarius is orange. And even though you might not love orange personally, Sagittarius, I think that different shades of it and different little combinations of it will help you get in touch with that fiery nature inside of you. And in general, my style recommendation for you, Sagittarius, see if you can wear a piece of clothing or a piece of an accessory that makes some type of a statement, whether political, whether ecological, a statement that shows to others that you have opinions and you're not afraid to share them with the world. And of course, you are a fire sign, so don't be afraid to include different patterns, different colors, different textures in your outfits. This is one great example. We see different colors in this outfit with the brown and the sort of teal color. And we also see a pattern in the skirt. So again, a really fun, fiery type of outfit. And we do see a graphic on this shirt. I don't think this one is necessarily political or making a statement, but it shows how you could incorporate a shirt with a statement on it into your outfit. Again, another example, we have a graphic tee, could potentially make some type of a statement about the world and your opinion of it, but it's still quite a fun outfit. We've got the pattern on the skirt, so definitely something perfect for Sagittarius. And again, another example, we see the color, we see the graphic tee. So I think with Sagittarius, my examples are all quite the same. Color, different textures, patterns, and if you can incorporate something graphic, then that would be for the better. For Capricorn, your color recommendation from me as an astrologer is burgundy. It's a color that can be found in nature. It's a bit more of a subdued color, so it should feel classy and traditional and really align with your zodiac sign. In general, my style recommendation for you, Capricorn, besides wearing burgundy, is to make sure you have your accessories in order. Make sure you are wearing nice shoes, you're wearing a belt, you're wearing a watch. These like more traditional elements, while I think a lot of us nowadays in fashion are not paying attention to them as much, I think they will help you get in touch with these more Capricornian qualities of tradition, qualities of working hard and doing your best. This is a perfect example. We've got a nice bag, a nice belt, and even a scarf. It gives that sort of more traditional feeling. So in general, it feels like you're somebody that is to be taken seriously and not to be messed around with. This example I love because it's a little bit more for like a fancy occasion. We see, also a dress instead of just pants, as I feel like a lot of the examples in this video have been. But it's still a very classy, traditional black dress. It's got that, a little sort of white detail around it. But in general, again, it says, I'm a Capricorn. I know what I'm doing. Do not mess with me. And again, the final example, this is something that's a little bit more casual, but it still represents these sort of traditional values. We've got a sweater, it's tucked in, a nice pant. And those details like the earrings, the belt, the bag, they seem like they're good quality. They seem like these little details that maybe don't really matter, but they really bring the outfit together, and they're almost sort of like the centerpiece of the outfit. For Aquarius, the color that I recommend is purple. Honestly, I am an Aquarius and I have no purple in my wardrobe. However, I think the color purple is funky. It's something that not a lot of us wear, and that is why I recommend it for Aquarius. It might really help bring you in touch with this part of you that's just weird, that's different, that stands out from the crowd. So see if you can bring a little bit of it, different shades of it into your outfits. And this is in line with my general style recommendation for you, Aquarius. Just wear whatever you want. If you are going to a fancy event, but you do not want to dress fancy, don't do it. Or vice versa. If you're going to a casual event and you want to dress fancy, go for it. Just wear whatever makes you feel good, whatever you want to wear, and do not worry about wearing things that others might find nice. And do not think about, what will people think of this outfit when you are creating it. This example I love. We see the use of the purple, but we see a bit of like a funky element to it with these sort of like bell sleeves. It almost looks like quite alien, quite different. It's definitely an outfit that will make you stand out from the crowd and really, remind others that you're not like everybody else. And there's a bit of an element of like like a bit of an alien element with this outfit. It almost looks like, you know, your actual body shape is different than the rest of us. And that's honestly perfect, Aquarius. It reminds you and it reminds others that you are a little bit quirky. Love this outfit because we also see that purple coming through. It's a bit more of like a Leo outfit. It's quite outspoken, so it might not be right for every Aquarius, but I thought it would still be a good example because it looks like it's an outfit that this woman put on and said, I do not care what anybody thinks. I love how I look today. And of course, we have to mention her boots, because this is an element, just like we saw with the bell sleeves in the other outfit. This is an element that almost makes it look like she has different legs than the rest of us. You sort of look at it and you do a double take and you're like, does she have animal legs? Like, does she have cheetah legs or whatever this pattern is? And that is perfect Aquarius, making you stand out, reminding everybody that you're different. Again, showing you how you can combine purple. And this time, this person is actually using their hair as part of their style, as part of their outfit. This is also something that you can do, Aquarius. Again, do not think about what will people think of my hairstyle. If it feels good, go for it. Pisces, the color that I recommend for you is white. This is honestly a perfect color for the last zodiac sign, for the zodiac sign that loves to almost forget that they're human and just check out and float into space. And that is why I recommend white or any sort of shades of it. And in general, Pisces, my style recommendation for you is to wear loose fitting clothes. Anything that feels very flowy, things that almost make you forget you are wearing clothes. Things that feel quite free, don't touch your body or restrict it in some weird way. This is a perfect example of both of those qualities. We see the white and we see that both of them are just quite loose fitting, both her shirt and her pants. In general, probably feels really nice to wear, so she can let her mind wander off of on other things instead of thinking about, ooh, these pants are giving me a wedgie, or okay, with this shirt I can't really move my arms. Another example of something that would be perfect for Pisces: light, loose fitting. We see that white color come out again, and honestly, if you can go barefoot, Pisces, go for it. And I wanted to use this example in here as well because we see that white color coming up, but it's a little bit more of like a dressed up option in case you need that, Pisces. You could do that by throwing on a blazer that's still, a bit more loose fitting, not something that constricts you. And of course, we see that more of, a casualness with the sneakers. And sometimes, Pisces, that could be a really good thing for you in your style. Just reminding yourself that at the end of the day, it also doesn't really matter what you wear or how it all fits. There are more important things for all of us to worry about and to pay attention to in life. So I hope that helps you with your style going forward. I hope it inspires you to try some different things. Honestly, go in your closet, play around with what you have there, and see if you can take sort of the little recommendations that I gave here to dress in a more confident way to help you feel more confident, more outgoing. Thank you for joining me for this video. Don't forget about the free reading giveaway. Click subscribe so that you can enter. And I hope to see you again soon.